What is going to happen to the world? Is it destined? Can it be changed?
What is going to happen to the world? Is it destined? Can it be changed? What is going to happen to the world is what has been happening to the world for several centuries. What has been happening for eras. What has been happening in cycles. This earth evolved, and ever since then we have had rise and fall of civilizations upon it. We have rise and fall of the kind of barrenness that has come and great population that has come. We have had all these things many times before. Same thing will happen again. If we look back at history and some evidence that is there, it looks like 3,000 years ago there were great civilizations in many parts of this earth. A friend of mine who is an aeronautical engineer, he was commissioned by the government in India to make the aircraft for the military indigenously within the country. So he visited a lot of Boeing and other companies all over the world looking at designs and how they can be made here. He picked up some designs and he came and he built the first planes that were indigenously made in India. I was working in the government in those days, and my boss, the political boss, told me, let's get some man like him to come to our state and build it. So he was in another state building aeroplanes. So I went to see him, and he invited me to stay with him. And at dinner, I noticed that in the center of his living room, there was a big glass half globe like this, and there was a book inside. I was intrigued, what is that book? He said, this is one of our Vedas. It's one of the Vedas in which they describe how the pilots should run the planes. And he had opened that page, those pages with instructions that were given to the pilots how to fly. The Vedas are mentioned by Buddha as thousands of years old, and Buddha himself is more than 2,000 years old. So you can imagine how old that literature is. And the literature, what he explained was, look at what it says. It is giving the instructions to fly between 35,000 and 60,000 feet high, which no plane could be flying at that time. It gives instructions for the modern jet planes, for the pilots of modern jet planes, almost identical to what we give today. And more than 3,000-4,000 years old, we had planes running like that, and after that they all disappeared. We started from a little cart, bullock carts and horses, and came back again to cars and planes. It means that there are cycles in which we grow, and then we destroy ourselves for some reason. So what will happen to the earth? We'll destroy ourselves. And we'll destroy very methodically this time. We destroy in different ways. And nature helps us with famines and floods and all that, and earthquakes. It also helps. And we die by disease. Now we have controlled disease. So what will happen next? The biggest danger is that we can destroy with nuclear energy that is being stored as weaponry, that can be used as weaponry. There's so much of it. I know because I had little knowledge of what was going on in my part of the country in India and how they've developed. They have nuclear warheads. This country is really close to us. North Korea has nuclear warheads right now. Pakistan, next country, has nuclear warheads. Russia had much more. Most of them were left in Ukraine. They have 16,000 nuclear warheads. According to our estimate, the United States has 64,000. And these can carry hydrogen bombs, not atom bombs. Atom bombs were used to hit two Japanese cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They destroyed most of the city, just an atom bomb. A hydrogen bomb, which is different in its fusion, it's a fusion, different form of explosion, which is 1,000 times more powerful. It can destroy continents. If one falls on California, It cannot destroy one city, it can destroy a series of cities. One bomb. Now, when you have several thousand of these bombs sitting on this planet right now, and some madman decides to use one, others will try to kill the madman with more. That's what we do. When we say, you are using this gun, I'll use a gun. I'll use a more powerful thing. You use nuclear, I'll use nuclear. So we destroy ourselves. We've done it many times before. But then some places are be left. Somebody asked me, can you give us some place which will not be destroyed by nuclear place? I said, I have in mind 3 places. And I write them, the names of the places in a piece of paper and hide it somewhere. You'll be able to find it because the survivors will be very few. They have been now pressing me. I could sell them at a high price, I think. Anyway, I am only saying that there will be places where we will survive. Some have always survived and started all over again. There was a documentary I saw which said, what will happen to the earth if man disappears, if a human being disappears from here? Supposing one day all human beings disappear, everything else is there. It then traced what will happen after 1 year, what will happen after 10 years, after 100 years, after 1,000,000 years, after 100 million years, what will happen. It traced that after 1,000,000 years, all the buildings will rust, all of them will be desolate, dust will fall, other things will fall, nobody there to clean it up, and animals will start dying out. After 100 years, it will be very desolate. After 1,000,000 years, everything will have been wiped out. Plants will be, some old plants will be growing. After 1,000,000,000 years, nothing will be left but small little plants growing on this. No other life except that. This is based upon scientific study. Now, can you ever imagine? We thought, according to Darwin, that we were very late in coming to this planet. And everything was growing very nicely, evolving very nicely. And now, Darwin said we only came not more than 50,000 years ago. He predicted first. Then there was a family called the Leakey family. The Leakey family were investigating fossils in Africa, and the Leakey family found fossils showing that human skeletons in fossilized form were there from 10,000, 20,000, million, 2 million, 10 million. Now they found 100 million old. That means human beings have been there all the time. And that's why we have been developing like we have been developing. It's the human input into this earth that's holding it up as it is. But when we destroy, some human beings are still left to carry on. And the new generations keep on coming, it's multiplying through that. So that is going to be the future. But the new way of doing it is that we will be able to build alternative places of residence outside the planet. We will be able to build, I'm going to share with you, you're all my friends, I suppose. You can keep a secret? Okay, keep this secret, and if you tell somebody, tell them also to keep it secret. This was a special moment when I asked Great Master this very question. Master, I can't see the future. He said, you want to know what happened next year? I know. I don't care what happened next year. I don't even care what happened this life. You told me plenty about that. I want to know what will happen 2,000 years, 4,000 years later. How about 4,000 AD? That's not too far. It's just a few thousand years ahead. And we have had a long history already. But technology is moving faster than other things are moving. Culture is moving slowly, language moving slowly, everything is moving slowly, political movements are slow, but technology has taken up a leap and moving even faster every time. It's like an exponential growth in technology. So he said, you can give a little peep. So a little dream-like peep into the earth 4,000 AD. I was shocked. There's no population on the earth at all. It's all moved into satellite townships. They're all roaming around. Enough of them, different levels. All fully equipped with all means of life. No disease. People end their life according to prescription. Doctor, 65, go. 85, go. Artificial birth, artificial death is very common. Communications are all wireless. They look upon the earth and say, what stupid primitive people were these to build roads, universities, and things like that. They think we are as primitive as we think the Stone Age people were. Because they say, why were this great infrastructure on the surface required when they could do all that in the space? So they feel we are very ignorant people. And what is their system of education? No universities, no colleges, no schools. You embed the whole knowledge from all the educated people of the world and gather it in a little chip and put it wirelessly into your brain cells. All are equally educated. All have equal memories. They implant memories. So such a different life than what we are seeing today. Unbelievable. But that was the little picture. I don't know whether it's a dream picture, whether it was real or not, but it was so different from what we are experiencing now. That could be the future of the earth too.